Coming up, the trade turnover of Kazakhstan with other countries totaled $101.5 billion in 2021. Which countries does Kazakhstan trade with? Watch next. Women head over 100 IT companies in Kazakhstan. Qazaq TV correspondent told about the most successful startups founded by the fairer sex. Stay tuned for more details. The legendary ballet Giselle on the stage of Astana Opera. The fantastic creation of Adolphe Adam was dedicated to the International Women's Day. What does the French TV film the Kazakh performance for? Let's see.
Что я могу сказать о Жизели? Вообще гениальный спектакль.
Giselle is one of my favorite performances. All in all, a brilliant play. A wonderful romantic ballet about love.
Классический балет о любви.
The international rating agency Standard&Poor has confirmed the sovereign credit rating of Kazakhstan at BBB- or A3 with a stable outlook. This was reported by the press service of Kazakhstan's government. Analysts call the strong fiscal and external balances of the economy, as well as the presence of liquid external assets, the key factors supporting the level of the country. Moreover, according to experts, the state and external balance sheets will remain stable in the short term and will be sufficient to mitigate potential macroeconomic instability. At the same time, according to the agency, the secondary consequences of economic sanctions against Russia are surmountable and will not lead to interruptions in Kazakhstan's access to key oil and gas export markets. According to analysts, the country's effective macroeconomic policy will continue as part of measures to diversify the economy, develop the private sector, increase household incomes, improve the investment climate, and improve tax policy. In general, Standard&Poor's forecasts the growth of Kazakh economy at 3.6% in 2022 and an average of about 4% until 2025. The trade turnover of Kazakhstan grew by almost 17.5% and reached $101.5 billion in 2021, whereas more than a quarter of the country's total trade volume accounted for EAEU countries, exceeding $26 billion in U.S. currency, Finprom.kz reported. The share of the country's exports in trade with the member countries of the Eurasian Economic Union amounted to slightly less than 30%. Of these, Russia accounted for over 90%, or about $7 billion. In the composition of exports, most of all, Kazakhstan supplied flat-rolled products made of iron and stainless steel, iron ore, inorganic chemistry products, compounds of precious metals, rare earth metals, and ferrous metal scrap to the neighboring state. The volume of exports from Kazakhstan to the rest of the EAEU member states was distributed as follows. $625 million accounted for Kyrgyzstan, $97 million for Belarus, and $9.5 million for Armenia. Imports from the EAEU countries to Kazakhstan also increased by a little over 25% in total. Are there equal opportunities for women and men in the labor market in Kazakhstan? Is the potential for the fairer sex being fully used in our country? These and other issues were discussed at the Bolashak Women's Empowerment Forum that took place in the capital. According to the organizer of the event, Aynur Karbozova, today the number of educated and highly qualified women specialists is growing in the labor market. According to her, such professionals should be involved in the civil service.
Форумның басты мақсаты мемлекет басшысы да жуырда өзі сызып айтқандай, жалпы мына мемлекеттік, квазимемлекеттік.
The main goal of the forum is to increase the number of women working in the state and quasi-state bodies. At the decision-making level, their number should be up to 30%. The head of state also emphasized the need for this. How do we complete this task? There are tools for this. For example, to study the experience of other countries. The head of state will address the public on March 16th, after which, of course, a specific plan on developing our economy will be adopted. In the qualitative and short-term implementation of this plan, the potential of Kazakh women should also be taken into account.
Жоспар қабылданады. Сол жоспарды сапалы әрі қысқа мерзімде жүзеге асыруда қазақстандық әйел әлеуеті ескерілуі тиіс.
Earlier, the head of state instructed the government to solve the issue of strengthening gender equality in the country. The president pointed out the need to develop measures for the protection of women's labor, ensuring their participation at all levels of government and in corporate areas. The concepts of information technology and the fairer sex are compatible. There are an increasing number of female directors of IT companies in Kazakhstan. Moreover, startups founded by women generate 2 times more profit, and most importantly, ideas. According to the co-founder of one of the technological projects, Alina Abdrahmanova, women can and even need to stand equally with men in business. Every woman has to rely on herself. She must be independent. She must be financially independent. For this, I want to say to girls that you definitely need to study. You need to search for yourself. You need to develop. Young ladies, I also want to say, whether you choose a family or a career, you must always have a source of income. You must always stand firmly on your feet. A new startup can become such a source of income. This happened with Alina. Together with her team, she launched a project, which is a platform that allows you to broadcast seminars, events, and even concerts in 360 degrees.
Суть нашей платформы в том, что вот такие камеры 360.
The essence of our platform is that such 360 degrees cameras are installed at the stadium. For example, Dimash Kudaibergen's fans from all over the world can get to his concert using such a helmet. At that moment, they will have the feeling that they are in the stadium and, together with other fans, sing along to his songs. Today, over 600 companies are registered in the country's main industrial park, and more than 100 of them are headed by women. These are mainly educational projects. These are educational platforms, software, interesting applications on mental arithmetic providing children with education. I also would like to mention an IT academy which provides full computer training. According to the Astana Hub, more and more applications for IT business training come from women. The European Commission calculated that last year, the share of women in the field of information and communication technologies in the EU was 17%. In Kazakhstan, this figure is still 5%. A policewoman, chief of the Almaty Juvenile Police Department, Janna Shonjanova, serves alongside her male colleagues, achieves good results and builds a career. She has been serving for over 15 years. She dreamed of becoming a police officer since childhood. When the time came to choose a profession, she realized that she wants to protect children. In the Minors Affairs Inspectorate, the woman helped dozens of teenagers to not break down and return to normal life.
I
like working with children. I like working with parents because the first thing we do is help. First of all, we provide assistance to children and parents, particularly families in difficult situations. We direct them to all authorities, to mayoral offices, commissions on juvenile affairs. Janna Shonjanova admits that the objective appraisal of her work is when many troubled teenagers, becoming adults, choose the right path in life, find happiness, build families. They come to their beloved Lieutenant Colonel to thank for everything she has done for them. In general, I believe that women do a good job because of the qualities that are purely inherent in women: attentiveness, accuracy, responsibility. Of course, there are stressful situations, constant tension, but if you love work, no difficulties can then frighten you. In total, more than 700 women serve in the Almaty police. Despite the fact that there are many more men, everyone works equally. Kazakh school children receive international recognition. High school students from Aktobe, Janur Ayıp and Daniyar Chutenev, developed a keyboard for the blind. The know-how was a runner-up at the Expo Sciences Mexico Virtual Olympiad, which was attended by over 60 teams from 17 countries. Our keyboard works on a different principle. If on regular keyboard to enter a certain letter you need to press one button, then in our case you will need to press combinations. We believe that our project is unique and we would like it to develop, and we want to participate in other competitions if possible. The students worked on the innovation for about a year. They carefully thought through every detail. The device consists of 6 buttons similar to the 6 dots used to construct symbols and letters in Braille. In the future, the young scientists intend to improve their project. The most ambitious addition that we would like to make to our device is the addition of our own display. Why do we need it? At the moment, our device is capable of entering letters and numbers. Let's say in different alphabets such as Russian, Kazakh, and English as well. But we want the user to be able not only to enter, but also to feel and know which characters he or she entered. According to the developers, the device has already been successfully tested. Now, it's just a matter of getting a patent. According to them, in the future, they intend to work on other equally useful and large-scale projects that will help people. The Astana Opera Theatre again presents the masterpiece of choreography, which has been running on the world stages for over 180 years. The performance of the famous ballet Giselle by Adolphe Adam is dedicated to the International Women's Day, which is celebrated on March 8th. The play was staged by the ballet company's artistic director Altınay Asırmuratova. According to her, she staged this performance with special thrill, since she herself once performed the part of Giselle.
Что я могу сказать о Жизели? Это один из самых моих любимых спектаклей. Вообще гениальный спектакль.
Giselle is one of my favorite performances. All in all, a brilliant play. There is nothing superfluous. A wonderful romantic ballet about love. There are some very interesting dramatic parts. It seems to me that any ballerina dreams of performing in such a ballet as Giselle, because you can grow in this part. If you dance it for the first time at the age of 20, it will be one Giselle. If you gain some life experience and dance at 30, it will be a completely different Giselle. There is a very large dramatic tension and the well-known scene of madness. It is completely different in the performances of different artists. In theory, it should be like that.
Известная сцена сумасшествия, она в исполнении разных артистов абсолютно разная. И так, в принципе, должно быть.
Honored figure of Kazakhstan, Astana Opera's principal dancer Aygerim Beketayeva will play the multifaceted role of Giselle this time.
Она вместе со мной растет, вместе со мной развивается. Это очень драматический спектакль, в нем есть большая палитра эмоций.
She grows and flourishes with me. This is a very dramatic performance. It has a wide range of emotions. In this character, you can experience a spectrum of emotions, from the happiness of love to madness. If spectators will cry with me and experience all these emotions, it will be the highest appreciation of my work for me. It was so hard, as if I went through this myself. This madness scene is very complicated because I had to read a lot of books, watch a lot of videos of my colleagues dancing outside of our theater. I was wondering how I can convey it, how I can experience these emotions.
И мне было интересно, как я смогу это передать, как я смогу пережить эти эмоции.
The ballet Giselle will be filmed for a future broadcast by the famous French television channel Mezzo. The selection for participation in the Deaflympics is underway in Kazakhstan. Various competitions are being held in all regions of the country. A national team is also being formed. Thus, athletes met in the capital. About 120 people took part in the championship of the country, who performed in 14 different competitions. Among them are long-distance running, shot put, long jump and high jump, as well as race walking. The Kazakh national team will perform in 12 sports at the Deaflympics. The World Deaf Athletic Championship will be held in Brazil in May this year.
Біздің суролимпиадалық спорт түрлері артық айтпасам да болады. Пара, олимпийский спорт түрлерінен қарағанда.
Our athletes show very good results in competitions, even at the Olympics. For example, at the previous one, our athletes won 3 to 4 gold medals. I think that we will take even more of them in these games.
Жүлде алдық. Осы олимпиадада тоже бір-екі алтын аламыз деп ойлаймын.